Hi, my name is Anna Meador, and today I will be presenting my demonstration called Design Your Own Raised Garden Bed. Now, a lot of people live in the city and they think, there's no way I could ever grow a garden. Wrong. Raised garden beds are becoming the new source of gardening for people who enjoy gardening, enjoying eating healthy, and that just don't have a lot of space to work with. Today, we're going to look out at gardening outside of the traditional way. We're going to look at it through new inventive eyes. Gardening no longer takes a large plot of land in farmland in order just to produce a garden. A lot of times, it's a lot easier nowadays that you can just set up and build your own raised garden bed, or have another alternative source in which you can prepare and grow your fruits, veggies, and flowers. First, we're going to get started. A good portion of my lesson today, I'm going to be teaching you one of two things. I'm going to be teaching you how to build your raised garden bed, but I'm also going to go further in depth, and I'm going to teach you about spacing your plants, what you do once your garden bed is built in order to go ahead and make use of it. So, first we're going to start off with our supplies. You're going to have 2 3-foot by, sorry, can you see this all? I want to make sure everybody can see this. All right, 2 3-foot by 2 and 12 inch boards, 2 5-foot boards, 2.5 to 3 inch screws, a flat regular shovel, a landscaping shovel in order to dig your hole, landscaping fabric, box cutter and knife, drill and circular saw, framing square, level, spray paint, and your potting soil, 50 pounds or as needed. Now today, I actually made a model for you all, and this is as I go along and I explain to you all how it's being made. I will point out to you all different portions of my model here. And for just purposes of today, and the example, I used a 3-foot by 5-foot bed, but truthfully, whatever space you have available and you're willing to make a garden out of, you can make out of any dimensions. Now, the first portion of making your garden bed is selecting a location and marking dimensions. Now, if you've got a really small space and you obviously want, one of the most important parts when growing plants is to have 2 different things. Well, most importantly, you want somewhere that's going to have a lot of sunlight so that your plants have a good ability to grow, and also somewhere that's relatively moist. You need to know what kind of, if you're growing fruits, vegetables, whether you're doing it for functional or for beautification purposes. And then you're going to take your spray paint and you're going to mark your dimensions. After you've used your measuring tape and you've measured off those areas, you're going to use your spray paint and mark the areas. Next, you're going to remove the sod. And sod, if you don't already know that term, is the layer of grass that lays on the top and where the roots of the grass end. So you're taking off that top layer of grass. And you're going to measure for levelness. This is where you're going to use your level. You're going to set it on the ground. You're going to use this chance to, if it's too high in one place and it's not level enough, then you may need to scrape off some more dirt with your shovel. And if it's too low, add some more dirt in that place. Next, you're going to roll out your landscaping fabric and cut to size. Now, if I'm doing a 3 by 5 foot raised garden bed, then I'm going to choose a landscaping fabric, if possible, that's 3 feet wide, so I don't have to do multiple pieces. Yes, you can do multiple pieces, it just depends, and it's a lot easier if by chance your dimensions do match up with the sizes of the widths of landscaping fabric that are allowed. Next, like I said, you're going to use a knife, a cutting blade or such, and you're going to cut out the portion of the landscaping fabric. Next, you're going to drill 2 holes. You're going to line up your corners, drill your 2 holes, and screw in your screws. Now with this step, a lot of people, especially that live in the city, obviously may not keep a circular saw on hand with them. So a lot of stores, especially Home Depot, will pre-cut that wood if you will ask them to do so. So have them do that, measure out your wood as needed. Then, once you get to actually building it, you're going to line up your 2 corners. Now, as everyone can see, it's just a simple rectangle frame. It's really not hard to make at all. You're going to first start off with the main portion of it is these 90-degree angles. So you're going to line up your two pieces of wood on the corners, and then taking a drill, you're going to drill in your first holes, okay? You might need a second hand to do this. A lot of times it's possible to do it one person, but it doesn't help. It doesn't hurt to have a second hand. Then after you've drilled your two holes, then you will drill your two screws in. Then you're going to follow up and repeat those on all four sides, all four corners. After you're finished and after this is all complete, then you're going to place your finished frame over the fabric and cut the extra fabric off. Next, you're going to have your garden bed laid out. Then you're over your fabrics underneath it. You're going to pour your soil or take your shovel and fill it up, and then you're ready to plant and lay out. Now today I have some handouts that I would like you all just to take a look at. And actually you will be using the back side of it. I did the layout, so if you are interested and you do want to make your own raised garden bed, that you can do that. It's got the materials listed as well as the instructions to make it. So here's 3 for this row and 4 or so for this row. Alrighty, now you'll notice, like I said, it's got everything on the front. Next, I'm going to be discussing spacing for plants, which is our next portion of our lesson. I told you all how to build a raised garden bed, but I want you all to be able to apply that and take it to the next level. So that's why we're going to discuss spacing. Now, I will go ahead and tell you all that you do have a square in the box that you'll be, or square box on the back that you will be using here a little later. Now, some of the importance of spacing include the most important parts are keeping the plants from stealing one another's nutrients, air circulation, and sunlight. Those are the biggest things. If your plants don't have those 3 areas, then they're not likely to mature as large as they can. So, with doing that, if you can create parallel rows, that would work best. Garden beds also help to keep soil loose. If you were doing a regular garden that was just on regular flat ground, then your walking back and forth down your rows would compact your soil. Raised garden beds keep from having that compacted soil. And then it allows, like I said, allows plants to reach potential growth. Now next, we're going to go ahead and speak about spacing your plants and what you can actually do. Now as you can see on your front, I've listed a couple, there's every plant, whether it's a vegetable, fruit, flower, has listed on the back of theirs, especially if they come from like Lowe's or Home Depot. They'll have listed on the back of the packaging what kind of restrictions and needs they have, such as lighting, water sources and such. And the big one that we're going to be looking at today is spacing. It'll tell you how many inches or how many plants per square. Now when we're saying plants per square, you're talking about a square foot, so it's 12 by 12. Alrighty, I have got an example here that I want to show you all. Now I took the following vegetables, I just decided to do all vegetables, and I did carrots, cucumbers, sweet corn, potatoes, green beans, tomatoes, and lettuce, okay? I have designed, and I'm going to show you all how the best way to go about this. It's really important, like I said, is to get the spacing correct, so I'm going to draw a model for you all. And for instance, you all already have this on the back side of your pages, so you all can kind of get an idea as I'm going along what it's going to look like. And about here's your, this is a little long, about right here is your 3 by 5 frame that you've already made, okay? It's got your landscaping fabric, it's already full of soil. Now you just want to lay out your plants. Now in theory, if you do this correctly and you put a lot of time and effort into the planting and spacing of your plants, then in your mind you should create sort of a grid system, as I've done here, okay? This just kind of helps you to break up your, when it's telling you to put so many plants per square, it helps you to break up and kind of keep in mind how many plants need to go where. So I'm going to, as you all can see, I've got this is my 3 foot wide on this side, and then this is about half, so there's about half. I'm gonna have it looking like this, okay? My 3 by 5, can you all tell? Alrighty, next, I'm just going to take, and I've got a rubric here, and it'll be listed on the back of your packaging, but I first chose, I really like corn. So, sweet corn takes, let's see, sweet corn takes 3 per square, okay? So what I've done is I really like sweet corn a lot. And as you all know, they come in ears, so not that many ears of corn come on it. So you might want several different things. Don't just think that, oh, I have 1 stalk of corn, so I'm good for a whole year. That's not gonna last you very long. So I'm gonna have several ears of corn, okay? And I'm indicating my plants by circles, okay? I'm gonna put SC for sweet corn. Now, I really like corn, like I said, and most people do corn in rows. And because I've got 3 per square, this is how I'm laying out my sweet corn, as you all can see. Alrighty, what I've done here, sweet corn. As you can tell, although it's not going in a very common row, it's kind of creating a diamond shape so that it's as spaced out as well as I can because I have limited spacing. So it creates a diamond pattern. Next, tomatoes. Several tomatoes will come on, or should fit, only come on per vine. So I've decided that I really like tomatoes. I like tomatoes maybe on my BLT sandwich or on my salad. So I want several different tomato plants. So I'm going to place tomatoes in 3 different places, okay? Then lettuce. Only so much lettuce comes, so I'm going to have more than 1 square of lettuce. This is going to be my lettuce. Next, cucumbers. Cucumbers come 2 per square. So I'm going to have my placement in a diagonal, okay? Because I want several things of cucumbers, then I'm going to have 2 different. Notice I did them diagonally in order that I can have the best spacing available. Next is carrots. Carrots come a lot together in a really small space. So I can have 16 carrots per square. So if you all can do the math there, that's 4 by 4. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and then I'm going to fill in. This is my 16 carrots. Now, you probably wouldn't want too many squares of carrots because there's a lot of carrots there. Next is potatoes. Potatoes are raised oftentimes in clumps of dirt. So I've got 2 places for potatoes. And these were my carrots and these were my cucumbers. Alright, as you all can see, I used a grid system in order to lay out my garden in order what works best and helps me keep in mind this is how many plants are going to go per square. Now, the square that you all have located on the back of your instruction sheet I gave you all are going to do something very similar. So if you've got your paper, if you'll just get out pens or pencils, I want you all to, you don't have to use every single fruit and vegetable, or I don't have any fruit, all these vegetables on here. Do what you like. The most important part is just remembering, keeping in mind, it'll tell you how many per square. It instructs you here. So you need to lay out yours compared to how well you like those. Also, if you all notice, there are pictures there that kind of help you and kind of give you an idea of how many plants per square. And I'm going to come around and just kind of get an idea of how it's going. So yeah, this, a lot of times, if you, let's say your dimensions weren't a 3 by 5 foot raised garden. Let's say it was 6 by 8. Then, if you're doing the same kind of planting thing, then you might split out your smaller width with 6 grids. Your rectangle would obviously be much larger, but you would spread it out with 6 grids wide and then 8 long. So what are some of your all's favorite veggies? And maybe it's something that I haven't listed on there.
Potatoes.
Potatoes, so it's on there, good.
Yeah.
I bet you're gonna have lots of potatoes.
I love potatoes.
There you go. Anybody else?
I like sweet potatoes.
You like sweet potatoes? Yes. Zucchini. I don't have zucchini listed, however, that one's a good one too. Anyone else? How's it going? Yes.
I like broccoli.
You like broccoli. Alrighty. And anybody getting close? I'm curious. Yes.
I know you list lettuce, but that head lettuce, right?
Yes.
What's it with-
Loose leaf, they also come in. I figured it would be a lot easier to explain it as one head because that's commonly what people think in their mind. But the spacing on that's 1 to 2 per square. You all have any questions while you all are working on this?
Yeah.
If you need help laying it out, yes.
Like plants like cucumbers or potatoes or something, or I guess potatoes need like more dirt as far as they grow on the ground, and carrots do too, but like potatoes like grow out. So would it be better to have your potatoes in the middle of the raised garden bed because they would have more soil to spread out in, and then have your, just like have those in the center? Like where they have more dirt?
It really wouldn't matter exactly. A lot of times with potatoes, they pile up the dirt in that area. So as long as you have that square foot, they have that room to expand out, and that's the room that they need. You can place these in any order that you want. A lot of times, you might, if your sun was coming from one direction, you might not want to put your corn on the side closest to where the sun rises because it's going to block out more of that sunlight. We want them to be fully exposed as long as we can. So that's where you would put these rows closer to the sun and kind of think that way. A lot of times raised beds will average from anywhere between 6 inches up to 12 inches. The necessity for majority of all plants that you would even be wanting to grow in your raised garden bed would be 6 inches. You can do it up to 8 inches to be safe. If I were working with wood that was 2 by 12, then I would maybe fill it up 8 inches, a little more than needed, just so I have that extra layer on, just to work with if something wants to spread out more. Now the importance is, like I said, when you have correct spacing, your plants aren't going to be wanting to steal nutrients from one another. So when your plants are way too close, that's why they have these long strangling these roots that stretch really far. If it was a truly healthy plant, then it doesn't have that need to stretch as far out because those nutrients are closer to it, and it doesn't have to exert that extra energy that it could expend on its produce in order to grow those roots. Does anybody have any questions? Alrighty. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start. He's getting close. Let's see what you've got already. You're close. What do you like the most? What do you have the most of?
With the most plants up or the most squares up?
Most plant types.
Well, I got 3 potatoes, 3 sweet corns, and 3 green beans.
Sounds good. Does anybody else have any other designs that they just think they're just awesome? They have a great design.
Amanda's looks pretty good.
Amanda, would you like to show yours?
No, because it's full of potatoes and green beans.
Alrighty, that's fine. I think today I just want to go back and review over a little bit of what I talked about. You all learned not only the supplies and the instructions that you needed to make your garden bed, that you need it 6 inches high, that you need to make sure your corners are level when building the product. You can also use Home Depot and such in order to get your wood cut before you. And also, the main portion of this lesson was just learning the importance of spacing. This is taking the step of building the raised bed to the next level and just letting you know that, yes, it is truly important to space them correctly in order to get the nutrients, the air circulation, and the sunlight that the plant really needs. Now, even though you all may live in the city, I think you all can all agree that whether you are able and you have the space, you can always build a raised garden bed. Or if you're extremely limited on space, you can always take a plastic tote and use that as alternatives. The important part of this lesson is just to learn to be inventive, learn different ways to get accomplished your gardening or such. Whether you enjoy it just because it's gardening, healthy, or you have limited space, a raised garden bed is always a great option. Y'all have any more questions? Y'all good? Yay.